Hey everyone, and welcome to the Daily Scopes for the 5th of January. So today the moon enters Gemini at 2:36 a.m. I'm going to put that at the end of this, but usually when the moon's in Gemini, people can become more talkative, there can be an increase in gossiping, great for raw communications, projects in general. If you want to know more about exact things to do, then listen to the end of this. Also today, the Sun makes a BiQuintile to Mars, so this is a subtle sort of transit. So, the Sun BiQuintile Mars allows taking the old and updating it, while keeping some of the old ways and infusing modern terminology and presentation to engage yourself and others, making the rough smooth, the loud quiet. Transformations such as these are possible with this energy. Raw passion and animal instinct can be changed into elegant expression. So if you're normally a bit couth, like I can be sometimes, this is a perfect energy to make yourself more proper. Pronounce the words nice and slowly, get your point across if you're into all of that. So yeah, it's not what you say or do, it's how you do it that counts today. Also, allowing yourself to be a bit more flexible. The moon's in Gemini, so this helps you do that. So you can think about the best way to approach a situation or people. This can make them more responsive to you, and at the extreme end, change how they think. Also, Mercury makes a quintile to Jupiter today, another subtle energy. So again, supporting that teaching and creating content, making complex information simple. On the individual level, information you've been trying to learn for a while may become clearer to you right now. Ancient wisdom, science and traditions, myths and content like that can be good to talk about now and be well received. Using graphics, video, music to help you get your point across to your audience, and this can help you and others understand things better now. So you may have this dense, computer science, data, statistical information. There's really dense text where the words are really clamped together to get into. So to study for some exam or anything like that, professional advancement. So make it fun, break it down. Think about how can I make this thing fun for me to learn if you're just learning yourself, and if you're teaching others, think about the ways you can make it fun for them to sort of learn. Even if you have not been trying to learn the concepts beforehand, you can innately and intuitively know what is meant by typically hard to understand information right now, where you'll be able to understand it quickly and thoroughly. So yeah, some of you would just really seek this information in, this new information in, or even if you have been trying to learn it for a while, it can just be like aha, like a light bulb. You can take 100 pages of information and explain it clearly and succinctly in a 2 to 5 minute video or podcast. If you have been thinking about religious, philosophical, intellectual or spiritual higher consciousness way of life, changing your life to be more balanced and more in tune with what you really think, or any new philosophy you've been learning for a while or thinking about, or you may just decide to go all in and live by what you know right now in your day-to-day life. The Sun also makes a trine to Uranus, so this transit supports insight, intuitions, logical perceptions can be given to you to help you be more creative, scientific, technological. Some of you may want to study the occult more. You may have a cult or entertainment project or any other project that you've been stumbling on, and this energy allows for you to advance further in it. It's also a good time to teach children or your inner child about metaphysics, science or technology. Some of you may meet a new romantic interest who is unique in their personal ways of being and perceptions and stuff like that. Some people may feel like rebelling and showing their nonconformist side. Joining groups or starting new friendships or making investments in scientific and related fields may reap high financial rewards or pleasurable benefits now or in the future. Again, this can be a highly intuitive time in which you are more open to new ideas and ways of being in this world. Content creators can use this transit to talk about non-conformist, out-of-the-box solutions to problems, and the things which stop people from being their authentic selves, like, I don't know, trying to conform to others, the biggest one, drugs, drink, other addictions, or poor self-esteem, self-doubt, what we all suffer with, and talking about how to overcome the psychological, emotional and physical obstacles that stop people from being themselves. Writing, filmmaking, or talking about innovative psychological, occult and scientific and technological ideas is also good use of this energy as well. When the moon's in Gemini, there can be an increase in communication. It's also good for all sorts of writing, research and reading, especially technical, scientific, medical or intellectual sort of research and reading and information gathering. In general, if you engage in deductive reasoning or intuitive guidance, there can be a lot of lively sort of discussion and an influx of ideas right now that can sort of like help you solve your problems or just make a deeper connections with people. You can also spend more time traveling and socializing with friends and locally than normally. Negatively, there can also be an increase in malicious gossip, biased thinking, superficial, trivially kind of speaking, and at worst people can talk cap to get what they want, tell lies or do whatever, dragging, criticising others or having prejudiced opinions that cause verbal or on the extreme end physical conflict. People may use intellectual or psychological warfare to weaken their opponents or nervous tension may get the better of them, and restlessness can cause some people to become more irritable than normal over their inability to fix or cope with any confusion in the environment or thoughts right now. As well, this can make people more anxious. There can also be delays in critical communications and short distance travel that can also add to this sort of nervousness. People can also rationalise their emotions right now or use logic instead of their heart and their emotions, and this can cause problems in relationships. The best use of the moon in the constellation of Gemini is organising your own or family matters, catching up on reading and replying to essential communications, carrying out research and anything else that broadens your knowledge bank, or take time out to sort issues rationally with your close ones and explore your community. For your gardeners out there, when the moon is travelling through the constellation of Gemini, it's a perfect time to store roots and fruits, cultivate your land and plant all types of melon or zucchini seeds and cucumber, squash and courgettes and curcumins and things like that. So yeah, that's the daily scopes for the 5th of January.